Okay, ma'am. Sir, shall we initiate recording or we'll wait for some more time, sir?
Um, okay, Anshul. Yeah, Anshul.
Yes, sir. Vishwa, ma'am?
Ma'am, shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Good evening to all present here. Dear webinar participant, greeting from IEEE CS, CSI, ACM and Chennai and Wiley. Thanks for registering for the webinar. Today's topic is emerging technologies and their integration into real-world applications. Mr. H.R. Mohan, Chair Events IEEE CS Madras, to give welcome address and introduction to speaker.
Greetings and good evening to one and all. On behalf of the Computer Society of India, IEEE Computer Society, ACM Chennai and Wiley India, I extend a warm welcome to our today's speaker, Dr. Reema Thareja, members and my colleagues from the organizing units, participants join the Google Meet meeting platform, and those watching the YouTube streaming of today's webinar proceedings. In our today's webinar on emerging technologies and the integration into real-world applications, the speaker, Dr. Reema, will delve into the exciting and transformative technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, IoT, cybersecurity, augmented reality, virtual reality, 3D printing, and digital manufacturing and quantum computing. Participants will get to explore how these technologies are shaping the industries today. The focus will be on how innovation reaches its peak when two or more technologies are integrated to provide better and efficient solutions. In this direction, real world use cases showcasing how businesses are deriving change with these technologies will be discussed. Additionally, the speaker will highlight and discuss on potential research opportunities to explore. We are thankful to Mr. Deepak Saxena, the marketing manager of Wiley India, for providing one free chapter of the book, Emerging Technologies for Engineers, authored by our esteemed speaker, Dr. Reema. Coming to the speaker, Dr. Reema Thareja is an assistant professor at the School of Open Learning, University of Delhi. She has over 20 years of teaching experience. She has authored several books based on the concepts of computer fundamentals, artificial intelligence, data science, and machine learning, and programming languages such as C, C++, and Python. Dr. Reema has published 30 research papers in international journals of repute and has 4 patents to her credit. She is a reviewer of Scopus Index and SCI journals and a member of program committee of various international conferences. Dr. Reema is a member Board of Studies in Computer Science for PB Siddhartha College of Art Sciences, Vijayawada, and Sri Durga Malleshwara Siddhartha Mahila Kasalaya. She is a member of the Technical Advisory Board of Refactor Academy. She has been a speaker in several faculty development programs, conferences, student workshops, and webinars in India, UAE, and USA. She was invited as a speaker at the Global Virtual Summit held in New York in 2021, International Dialogue on Empowered Future, Women's Role on the eve of International Women's Day in 2021, and an international conference held in October 2023 in France. Dr. Reema has worked as a member for 3 projects initiated by NRI in California-based startups. She has recently recorded her MOOC courses for MBA and BA program offered by School of Open Learning, University of Delhi. We are fortunate to have such an eminent speaker today to highlight the integration of emerging technologies in real-world applications. So I request Dr. Reema to enlighten our participants on the subject. Over to Dr. Reema.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody, for joining this webinar and registering for this. I hope we'll have, it's not just a webinar where I will be speaking and everybody else would be listening. I would appreciate if you can add to my knowledge and we can interact with each other to add to our knowledge base. So starting with, I'll just share my screen. Sir, I'm not allowed to share my screen.
Dr. Akila?
Yeah, I'm just doing it, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am. Yeah, yeah, you can do it now, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I hope this is visible. Yeah, yes, sir. So before we start with emerging technologies, let's see some news which I've collected, which will give insight into why studying emerging technologies is important. So there's a 2023 PwC report which says that 77% of Indian CEOs cited skill shortages as a barrier of growth, up from 64% in 2019. Then there's a NASSCOM's report 2022, which says that 50% of India's workforce, that is about 150 million people, will need reskilling or upskilling by 2025 to meet industry demands. Then a 2022 AWS study said that India would need 3.9 million cloud professionals by 2025, but currently only 1.5 million people were ready. Then NASSCOM says that it requires 1 million cybersecurity professionals by 2027 and only 3 lakh candidates are available. Then there's another report which says 83 million jobs globally by next year would be replaced, but 70 million new ones would also be created because of the new technologies. AI is the future, but 78% professionals feel left behind. And 83% consider AI skills as crucial, but 65% of them are still novice in this field. In China, AI is taught to primary class students. In junior classes, students are taught to how to work with AI tools, and in the senior classes, they are supposed to make a robot. So this is the state of technology there, and even at higher education, we are still questioning whether emerging technologies should be taught or not. So National AI Strategy aims to position India as a global leader in AI by focusing on sectors like healthcare, agriculture, education, and smart cities. AIM encourages the creation of innovation hubs, incubators, accelerators across the country. It supports AI and emerging tech startups, providing them with resources to scale up. Then India is one of the fastest growing markets of AI startup with sectors such as e-commerce, fintech, edtech, and the electronic city in Bangalore, T-Hub in Hyderabad, startup a village in Kochi are fostering conducive environment for AI and emerging tech startups. Many industries are moving towards automation and AI-driven solutions. Engineers and managers need to understand these technologies to design, manage, oversee projects that involve AI, automation, and related innovations. For managers, understanding emerging technologies is important so that they can think strategically about new products, services, process improvements, and emerging technologies offer new challenges, can address new challenges like climate change, healthcare, access, cybersecurity, and poverty. With a good understanding, managers can lead to digital transformation of projects, ensuring organization remains competitive and competitive and efficient. Engineers can use emerging technologies to design systems that are most cost-effective, energy efficient, and scalable. Managers with understanding of emerging technologies can optimize resource allocation, manage budgets more effectively, and ensure that technology investments deliver values. So these are all just reports which I'm reading out simply. Managers who understand the technologies their teams are working on can bridge the gap between technical and business sides of the organizations. In fact, these days companies prefer that CEOs and the business heads should have a strong foundation in technology as well, because only when you have a strong knowledge about technology, you can guide the business. You can visualize the next few years in which the business could head towards. So these two slides notes I have taken from this interviews of CEOs of major companies. Then you would be surprised to know that AI is becoming a star chef. It can suggest you recipes by analyzing thousands of flavor combinations. Already, we are in a world where we have 3D printed food. Now, 3D printing can be used to print pizzas, burgers, and even chocolates. Countries like Japan, in fact, many other countries, they are using 3D printing for building their smart homes, and with material like in the smart homes, we also have Alexa, Google Home, and Siri, where we can just give instructions, and automatically the lights could be adjusted as per our instructions. We have robots that can now understand emotions. There will be another surprising thing which I noted about IoT is by 2020, there will be over 75 billion IoT devices all over the world. And there will be around, if you talk about world's population, it will be around 8 billion and devices would be 75 billion. So that means more than 9 devices per person. So we are going to live in a world of devices, IoT devices. So now that we do not understand IoT devices, we'll be missing so much to cope up. More than 90% of the business around the world use some form of cloud computing. Even we are using cloud computing. All our emails, all our photos are stored. When we use Google Photos, we are actually storing all our data on the cloud. The cloud is just what is basically a cloud? To understand, the simplest definition is that we are storing all our data on someone else's powerful server. It's not in our stored all in our room. the computer in our room, but on somebody else's server. And major companies working in this field are Amazon Web Services, which is called AWS server, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure are three main popular companies in this field. So as we discussed, we have 3D printed house. We can even have 3D print your own custom sneakers. Companies like Adidas, they are for better customization of shoes, because everybody needs has a separate need. So to provide a customized experience, more comforting and better performance footwear, they are using 3D printed soles. So once the customer because if the shoe doesn't fit the customer's feet, he can discard with less time and with less resources. These shoes can be printed. Now, if we talk about cryptocurrency, which and when we talk about metaverse, so these things, technologies like blockchain would frequently come into picture. We'll study this in detail here, but to give a quick overview, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum is all based on blockchain. Apart from these, supply chain management for tracking goods and products, smart contracts, self-executing contracts with terms written into code, voting system, as we say, EVMs are hacked. So we can even have voting systems through blockchain. And then healthcare records could be stored using blockchain technology. The very first, again, it's a surprising fact that the very first real world transaction using Bitcoin was for 2 pizzas. In 2010, a programmer paid 10,000 Bitcoins just for 2 pizzas. And now 10,000 Bitcoins is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So many people, even in India, I know, are investing in Bitcoins, and they had bought Bitcoins worth rupees 35,000, and now they are actually owning 35, I think more than 1 crore. For that 35,000, the value is already 1.5 crore, something like that. So the skills required, according to Nitin Chando. So I was hearing this interview last month, and from there I took these lines. The skills required from the same job today have changed by 25% in the last couple of years, and you will not lose your job to AI, but you will lose your job to someone who use AI really well. So I was very much impressed with this line. Even Indian Army is recruiting candidates who know AI, machine learning, quantum computing to strengthen its cyber resilience. In a bold step towards, even Ajay Devgan has invested money in a startup which could create high quality, scalable, and visual compelling narratives with cutting edge AI technology. And we can use, basically in today's world, we are combining 2 or more technologies to get solutions. If we see that cyber crimes picture in India, so we see as compared to 2021, 22, 23, see the rate at which cyber crimes increased. And we are often reading news about digital arrest. So the best solution to avoid these cybercrime cases is the best solution is when we combine AI with blockchain. So a lot of research is being done these days in these areas. For example, if you are just starting in the research field, I would request all students, they can start with free datasets available at Kaggle. We have so many datasets for malware detection. Then we have cyber security datasets, and which identify malware with respect to IoT traffic. And then there are tools. You can download Kali Linux, and multiple tools are available for digital cyber forensics. So in case you are interested in that, it's a free. Anybody can download Kali Linux and see the tools and use the datasets already available. So these are the 2 links. You can refer to these links to start with your research work. Now, getting into blockchain. A blockchain basically is an ever-expanding ledger that maintains immutable, secure, chronological record of every transaction that has ever occurred. So this term may be confusing, but what happens is whenever there is a transaction, we create a block. This block is timestamps. So, and once a blockchain is created, it is permanent. We cannot delete it. We cannot modify it. So, once a block is created, it is inserted into the blockchain. So blockchain, and this blockchain is not stored on just one computer, because if it is centralized, stored on one computer, it can be somebody can hack it one day, but it is decentralized. So multiple copies exist on different computers. So if we see, we have to send a money. There's a financial transaction. So A has to send money to B. So there is already a block of transactions. So a block is, now that there is a new transaction, a block is broadcast to every party. When every party in the decentralized structure approves that transaction, that block, the new block is added to the chain, existing chain. So the new block is added to the existing chain of blocks. So now money moves from A to B. So every transaction is recorded. For example, if I have a 10 rupee note, nobody knows, even I don't know from where did I get that money. Why did I get that money? But when you are dealing with a block, when you are dealing with blockchain, so every transaction is, details about every transaction is recorded. Who gave, who to whom, and why, and when, and everything. So there is a lot of transparency. Advantages: decentralized, security is high, because it is very difficult to hack the entire blockchain, and because once a block is created, you cannot delete it, you cannot modify it. So that is why even CBSE has declared that the mark sheets are being now generated through blockchain technology. Even the health cards, the health records of the patients would now be generated using blockchain. So efficiency, transactions on a blockchain may be handled very fast and effectively. And since there is security, there is transparency, it also increases trust between the participants. The disadvantage is the scalability. There are little bit scalability issues. Energy consumption. If you can relate, 2-3 years back, Elon Musk one day suddenly said that he would not support blockchain cryptocurrency because it consumes a lot of energy. Because mining a coin, Bitcoin, requires a lot of computing resources. So it does require a lot of energy. That's the biggest disadvantage indeed. Then acceptance is slow, especially it has lagged because of ignorance of the concept and its technical complexity. Even governments are confused. There is no defined guidelines. So acceptance is comparatively less. Then there is a lack of framework governing blockchain technology. It's still in the developing state. Then there's lack of standards. So there are different types of blockchain: public, private, and permission. If you see the difference, as the name suggests, public can be accessed by anyone. Private and permission can be accessed only by invite. Network type: public it is decentralized, but private it is partially decentralized because it is already controlled by a particular entity. Here in public, the consensus takes place by mining process, but in private and permission, method is agreed between the participants. Basically, any node can read or write or verify blocks. But here in private, read, write, verify rights are controlled by a single authority, that is the owner of the blockchain, because it's private blockchain. In permissions are controlled by predefined nodes. It's not just one, but few nodes which are predefined. We also have a hybrid type blockchain. So now let's understand the difference between this is permission, this is hybrid, this is public and private. So permission in public, you do not need anybody's permission. Private, you need a permission. Here consortium, you need a permission. Hybrid, both variants are available. Control of public. In public blockchain is not controlled by a central authority. Private even hybrid are controlled by a central authority, but consortium is controlled by multiple central authorities. Main advantages of public is independence and transparencies, but in case of private, it's performance and scalability. Hybrid takes both of the best of both the worlds, like performance and low cost, and consortium, performance and security. So, and main disadvantage, since it's public, so there are scalability issues, there are certain performance issues. In private, security, too much security and trust, again, because everything is managed by a central authority. So trust there can be some issues. Hybrid may transparency and upgrading, and consortium transparency, because it is multiple parties are responsible for it. Now let's see some research case studies where a combination of emerging technologies is already being used. AI-driven cybersecurity. See, wherever you are using internet, wherever you are using IoT, cybersecurity and AI-driven cybersecurity is the norm today. Means cybersecurity solutions are powered by AI-driven solutions. Now here, the objective is to develop an IoT-based smart home system that includes connected devices like lights, camera, use AI to detect abnormal behavior. For example, there was a case 4-5 years back that a family had a smart TV, and that smart TV was there in their child's bedroom. Every night, in the midnight, the TV used to automatically start and horror movies were played in the child's room because the child was sleeping alone. So the intent of the hacker was to create problems for the child. The hacker wanted to take revenge from the family. So he hacked the child's smart TV to destabilize the child's mental balance. So when the child was sleeping, the midnight, automatically the TV would start and horror movies were placed. And the moment the child used to cry and call the parents, after a few minutes, the TV was automatically switched off. So the parents started believing that the child had some mental issues, and they took that child to the psychiatrist. The psychiatrist was also surprised because the child looked normal, and the psychiatrist advised the family to investigate the matter. And when they used the local police and the matter was investigated, this case was caught that the smart TV was hacked. So even we are using robotic surgeries, and we are using basically everywhere now we are using computing solutions. So in that case, AI-driven cybersecurity has become a must. Now, IoT platforms uses AI for anomaly, outliers, abnormal behavior detection. Then we need mobile app development for control, cybersecurity tools for encryption and access controls. Then there are tools like Kali Linux, Wireshark, which uses machine learning for threat detection, risk analysis, and frameworks, vulnerability assessment, testing tools. So if you want to begin your career as a cybersecurity expert, first, I would say get an introduction to these technologies, and then you will get data everywhere on internet, freely available to analyze this data. You can get data for assessment tools, and you can identify the vulnerabilities inside it. You can apply machine learning algorithms. A rich collection of data is available there. So we have another case study, AI-powered health monitoring and disease prediction. So even in not just in humans, but in agriculture, we are using AI detection, AI and ML-based algorithms to differentiate between a healthy plant and a diseased plant. We are using sensors technology, IoT sensors to determine how much the plant needs water, how much insecticides or pesticides are required, so that the apt amount of inputs can be given, right? So whether it's a human, we have wearable health trackers to monitor vital health like heart rate and blood pressure, or it's plants. So for health monitoring and disease prediction, AI and ML are being used. Then we have IoT-enabled traffic monitoring and smart parking system. It's already deployed at many places in India, especially the first, I think, was in Bangalore. One of my students working in this area, she told me a very interesting project she is working in currently. Like in Delhi, we often have air pollution problems, and so far the Delhi government had been very keen to implement the odd even rule. So one day odd number vehicles would be running on the road, and one day even number. So actually, not we didn't get a solution out of that technique. The only thing was that the normal citizens were suffering. They had cars, but they could not take their cars to office. They had to take a cab. Uh, so they had to pay more money basically to reach the office. So that my student I was talking about is doing a project for Singapore. She's doing a project in a startup company, which has a project for Singapore government. What they are doing is they are using GPS-based technology, AI, and blockchain technology to provide the solution to this. Using GPS technology, they will identify which roads have traffic congestion problems at this moment. They will notify the user that you avoid taking this route. Right? If this user still, despite giving the notification, if the user still takes that route, a penalty would be automatically implied to him, and the amount would be deducted from his wallet, right? And all the transactions, financial transactions, are done through the blockchain. The government will collect this fine money to develop roads and other infrastructure in that particular area. So now what will be the solution? Citizens would either avoid going to the congested roads, will take an alternate route, or even if they have to go, if they have no other choice but to take that route, they would themselves prefer to use carpooling techniques, so that fine amount is equally divided among all those passengers. So I think this is a very innovative technique that is now being applied using these emerging techniques. So even if you are a manager, you must be at least aware what can be done so that a better solution can be proposed. Now, IoT-based smart grid for energy management. In fact, in many colleges, I think in one college I visited in Nagpur, so they have a solar plant. I'm just giving you examples that these the college students are implementing in their college. So they have a solar plant generating electricity. So they started with a very small projects. They use a machine learning to identify what are the peak hours, how much electricity demand is there on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then they have a list of how much electricity is being generated every day. So the excess of electricity is automatically, they are selling it to the government using smart grid concept. So the college is in fact generating revenue by selling electricity. So now whenever you have a smart grid, whenever you have IoT based sensors, you also need cyber security. So all these technologies are again linked together and provides best solutions when implemented in a combined way. So then we have AI for predictive maintenance in industrial IoT. For example, we know if there's an industry and if even one machine breaks down, it takes at least 1 week to get back to the normal position. For example, you need time to see that first what happens when a machine breaks down. We try to fix it on our own. Now, if it is not fixing up, we are not able to do it. We call the company to send some support, tech support person. Now that person will give you a time for 2-3 days. That person will come, repair or do whatever. So it takes 1 week and we lose so much revenue because of that. So it's a better option is to use AI-based predictive maintenance. For example, it will give the performance of the machine. If we find any anomaly that the machine is not performing well or its performance is going down for a couple of days, there is an indication that there is some problem in that machine. And before it breaks down, we can get that machine repaired well before in time so that we save that downtime period and the revenue that we could have otherwise generated. Then AI-driven cybersecurity threat detection for IoT networks, as we already seen. Then AI-based facial recognition for secure IoT-enabled access control. In fact, I was reading a news when in China, they are not using apps like UPIs. They are using their facial recognition techniques, palm recognition techniques to pay money. So even at home, if you have a smart lock, that can be and you can have a smart lock that opens with your facial recognition techniques. So whenever there's a facial recognition or IoT based system, again, cybersecurity for ensuring that it is not hacked. Now let's go into see this video on metaverse. So this is another interesting emerging technology. So we've already talked about something about IoT, AI. We've talked about a little bit about blockchain. So let's come to metaverse now.
Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote. And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're going to need better tools to work together. Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You'd still have that sense of presence, shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day all accessible from anywhere. Now imagine that you have your perfect work setup and everything more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants.
Good. Let's get together real quick for a debrief.
Free now. Let's jump in. Hi.
Hey.
So what do we think?
All ready.
Right.
I'll be today.
All right. Good luck.
Imagine a space where you can tune out distractions, focus on the task at hand. When you're ready to share what you've been working on, you can present it as if you're right there with the team.
Wait, where's Mark?
I think he's in the middle of something.
So this was metaverse. Just to give you an idea, see, initially we had Web 1.0. And where there was websites where we could only read the data that was presented. Then we moved to Web 2.0, where we could, for example, we had social media website where we could read also and we could write also. It was the first time when we could write on the internet, right? Then we have Web 3.0, where now we can read, write. When we have metaverse, metaverse is actually, it's already there. A lot of concerts have already taken place in metaverse. Even the Australian football, I think, has already taken place in metaverse. So in metaverse, we can read, write, and interact. We can create avatars. So as we saw in the video, instead of us, we can go, our avatar can go in the metaverse, and we can have meetings, virtual meetings, as if we are sitting together. So it's not just us, it is our avatars, to give it a totally new look. It's actually boring when we are sitting at homes, we have a virtual meeting, our cameras are off, so that gives a limited interaction. But when we see, it's like we are just immersed in that. In Web 1.0, we owned content. Web 2.0, we are sharing the content, and here we are consolidating content. We are consolidating audio, video, text, images to create a virtual reality kind of environment. Here we had a visual interactive web. Here we had a programmable web, but in Web 3.0, we have a linked data web. We'll see it how. Then Web 1.0, we talked about home pages. Web 2.0, we talked about wikis and blogs. And Web 3.0, we talk about waves and live streams. Web 1.0, we had page views, how many people are visiting this page. Then we had cost per click. Those who will click, number of people who click will generate revenue. But here we generate revenue by seeing the understanding, analyzing the user engagement. And Web 1.0, we had directories. Here we tag the users, and here we have the user behavior as analyzing feature. Then here the focus was on one company. Here focus is on the community, and here the focus is on the individual. So what is your experience? How you can enhance your individual experience? So from Web 1.0, which started in 1990s, it was a static web experience, and we had basic HTML and emails only. In this 2000, from 2000 to 2020, we were living in the era of Web 2.0, where we had websites like Twitter, we had YouTube, and it was a dynamic content. You can choose what you want to, and you can even share. But from 2020, we are now entered the era of Web 3.0, which is blockchain. Here it is totally decentralized, private, and secure. By the term metaverse means a network of 3D virtual worlds which are connected. They enable people to interact with each other in real time, regardless of where they may be physically located. If you see this graph, okay, I've got it. If you see this from 2022 to 2032, how steep the rise is in the field of augmented reality and virtual reality. So we'll also understand the difference between augmented reality and virtual reality, because the combination of augmented reality and virtual reality is mixed reality, and this mixed reality is the concept of metaverse. So if we talk about metaverse timeline, Tim, it was started with, because we have internet, we can now talk about metaverse. So in 89, the word Tim Berners-Lee invented World Wide Web. 1992, in 1992, we had the science fiction writer who first coined the term metaverse, to describe it as a 3D virtual space. So 1992, it was we first used. Then we had so many novels, we had so many fiction movies which talked about metaverse. The first online virtual world was released in 2003, that was called Second Life. In 2006, we had Roblox, an online platform that allows users to create and share games with others. 2009, Bitcoin was created, and the blockchain platform was created. In 2011, we Ready Player One introduced people to virtual reality. 2014, we had Facebook acquires virtual reality hardware and platform Oculus. Then 2015, Decentraland's first iteration of online virtual world is created. We will understand what is this. 2016, we all know Pokemon Go. This was a game which used augmented reality. 2017, the multiplayer game and social hub Fortnite is released. 2018, the popular virtual reality game based on training Axie Infinity is introduced. Then 2021, Microsoft now we have Mark Zuckerberg says the parent company became Meta, where Meta controls Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. It's not big. Yeah. If you see the Asia Pacific market, we see that in Asia, the metaverse has not risen that much in 2025, but by 2030, we see a big increase, 45.54% increase from 2023 to 2030. So here is just to give you an overview of the devices we use in metaverse. We have the headsets, we have eye glasses, but we have gloves. Already these are already there, available in today's world, and we are already using. We go to malls and we see that 7D movies, but you have to wear those glasses to visualize them. Even we went to science cities. There are so many games already there which uses augmented reality and virtual reality technologies. Then let's go to the metaverse positive and negatives. Here, equal access to lifelike, otherwise unattainable experiences for the masses. Like anybody can go to the virtual world and enjoy even travel and tourism websites are using augmented reality and virtual reality to give you a virtual tour of the place. For example, if you want to go and visit some place in mountains, say Kashmir, so they will show you, give you a virtual tour. You can decide whether you want to go or not. Similarly, property dealers are now using augmented and virtual realities to give you an overview, because instead of taking the customers directly to that place to show you a flat, they are giving you a virtual tour of the location and the house, so that you can, if you think that it's as per your expectations, you can physically visit. Right, so interactions using more accurate virtual representation of physical objects, shared virtual experiences in real time with family and friends in the same room, work collaboration and correlation with colleagues as if they are in the same office, more efficient testing and training sessions. Even if you have done shopping on websites like Lenskart, for example, I want to buy these glasses. So what Lenskart does is it will take a picture of my face, and then I will be asked to select a glass. Then that glass would be overlaid on my face so that I can see how it looks on me. So that is basically augmented reality. A virtual object is placed over a real object, right? So that is augmented reality. Now, new business, or that is why we have new business opportunities to connect, engage, and interact with the customers. There are certain downsides, like limited access for some users who struggle with fully immersed experiences, increased cost, we need more data to experience, and then not everywhere 5G is available. And even if it is available, we know the connectivity issues are still there, the speed issues are there. So in that case, using metaverse applications are, and even the AR and VR is little restricted. Then there can be likelihood of bad behavior and privacy violations, security concerns are there. So challenges, as we see, security concerns. Not everybody feels safe spending time or money in a virtual environment. There are privacy concerns because a lot of time we are sharing our biometric and personal information for face recognition, for palm recognition, voice recognition. But there are privacy concerns as well. Then equal access is not ensured because not everybody has equal access to the internet. Not everybody has equal access to the technology due to cost. Then governance is also, for example, there's a question, when tech giants build a world, it's one thing, but how do small developers pool their resources to build in the metaverse? So there are questions regarding this governance issues. Correspondingly, we also have some solutions for data security. We need security protocols and AI-driven cybersecurity solutions. To ensure data integrity, we need blockchain technology. We need cybersecurity again for encryption, using asymmetric encryption techniques that again is taught as a part of emerging technologies in cybersecurity. Then we need more stringent rules for privacy regulations. We need more stronger user authentication so that users can gain more trust in the technologies. Then there are certain physical barriers for growing metaverse. VR headsets are continuously being streamlined and refined to give a better experience. Cost reduction is being done. Then ensuring inclusion so that everybody can gain this technology advancement. Using AI in the metaverse, how can we use AI? By creating a precise avatar. For example, we recently saw that Ghibli art. So it's using AI for creating avatars, like digital. Then we can create digital humans, not just avatars, but our duplicate copies, which look like us. Then multilingual accessibility. For this, we need Google translation tool, which again uses AI techniques. Now, when we talk about blockchain, coming back to blockchain, because blockchain is one of the foundational concepts of metaverse. So we saw that a blockchain is a shared immutable ledger Immutable, why? Because it cannot be changed. Recording transactions and tracking assets. So every rupee that we have, every Bitcoin that we have, or every digital currency that we have can be tracked. Right? So it is programmable. How is it programmable? We'll see this in smart contracts. It is distributed, we know. It is immutable because it is irreversible and cannot be changed. It is time-stamped. It is unanimous. Why? Because all network participants agree to the, because if every participant approves the transaction, only then that block is added to the blockchain. Anonymous, the identity of participant is kept anonymous or pseudonymous. That depends upon whether it's a public or a private or a commissioned or a hybrid blockchain. Then all the records are encrypted and therefore secured. So here, if we are seeing the same figure here, but in a detailed way, a new transaction is entered. The transaction is then transmitted to a network of peer-to-peer computers scattered across the world. So as we said, it's a distributed technology. The same copy of blockchain exists on not just one computer, but multiple computers that are spread across the world. This network of computers then solve equations to confirm all these computers will validate this transaction. Once confirmed, once validated, the new block is added to the blockchain. So now then the transaction is said to be complete. So now moving from from a Bitcoin to, or a cryptocurrency, to an NFT. We frequently use these terms when we are working with blockchain technology, or when we are working with even metaverse. So while Bitcoin is identical, NFT, that is non-fungible token, are unique. We'll understand the difference. These tokens can be bought and sold on second-hand marketplaces. Other use cases include digitizing our identities and providing ownership of things like real estate. Non-fungible tokens are ideal for creating digital versions of collectible like art and trading cards. NFT are like plane tickets. See, if you have a coin, that coin is same for everybody. But NFT is unique. For what is an NFT? Suppose I have made a beautiful sketch, or if I have a very special video, I can convert it into, I can make it an NFT. So every NFT is unique, but every Bitcoin is identical. Every coin in the real world is identical. But if I make a drawing and a piece of art, that is unique. So NFT is therefore like a plane ticket. They all look the same, but each ticket has a different seat and a destination. So every NFT is unique, but a Bitcoin is identical. So now we can also understand the two using this table. Cryptocurrency is functionally a token that is created in blockchain to signify a unit of value. So while NFT is a token on a blockchain enabling ownership of a unique digital asset. So NFT is a unique digital asset, but a cryptocurrency is a token that is like that signifies unit of value. Now NFT, each unit is unique, but a cryptocurrency, each unit is interchangeable. You can give that money to anybody, but it is because it is interchangeable. But here NFT is unique, represent ownership of digital asset, mainly used as a means of exchange. It's like money. Their value is purely economic. It has both economic as well as non-economic value. For example, fungible, we have Bitcoin, mana, and sand. But non-fungible, we have decanter. For example, if I have a pair of shoes in the metaverse, so that is an NFT. I have this cap. I have this t-shirt. So these are examples of NFT. So every NFT is unique. I can buy these clothes, buy these accessories for my digital avatar, right? So in the metaverse, you can buy, you can have your avatar, and you can even buy and sell products for avatars. So here we also have a sandbox land. So let's see. So we have a sandbox. We use these two terms, sandbox and Decentraland. What are these two? For example, see, in the real world, Now we have land. Okay, in the real world we have land. So this land belongs to the government, right? So what happens is when the government has to develop a particular area, it cut plots, pieces of land, right? And then the government sells that plots to the people, right? To any individual, those who are interested. Similarly, think of metaverse as a virtual space. In that virtual space, we have in that virtual land, we have uh, two virtual spaces. Decentraland, we can have as many we want, but here we are comparing these two virtual spaces, Decentraland and the sandbox. These are two virtual spaces. Now, as we have plots in the real world, Decentraland has 90,601 pieces of land are divided into parcels, district, assets, and for example, like we have different plots, we have different pieces of land in the Decentraland. Sandbox has 1,66,464 pieces of land. So these pieces of lands were available for people like us to buy. We sell and we buy pieces of land in this real world. We can even buy and sell pieces of land in the virtual world, in the metaverse. So Decentraland was released to public in 2020 after having its initial coin offering in 2017. Okay. And the sandbox was released in November 2021. The main token, Mana, serves as a token for transaction. Here, the main token used for transaction is sand. Matlab, yahan par somewhere we have rupee, somewhere we have dollar for transaction. Similarly, in sandbox, the currency is sand. And in Decentraland, the currency used is Mana. Now, we know that $1 is equal to around 86 Indian rupees. So similarly, the one token, one mana is equal to $0.86. You can even sell your mana, right? People are doing this. So same thing they are doing. They're buying cryptocurrency and then they're selling it for dollars. So if you go and sell, so one mana is equal to $0.86. And here in sandbox, one sand is equal to 1.07 per token. Okay, so Decentraland is controlled and governed by DAO and being completely decentralized. So DAO stands for decentralized access objects. The sandbox is controlled by a single company. It is highly centralized. Now, as we buy stock markets, shares, and we do a lot of investment, and similarly, we can also, this is a website, coinmarketcap.com, where you can buy and sell Bitcoins, Ethereum, and you can even see the prices, whether today it has gone up or gone down, for what is your, how much you bought and what is the selling price today. So you can see this on this website. Now, how does a smart contract that is based on blockchain technology work? See, it's a very transparent and we read that a blockchain is programmable. Let's see how it is programmable here. So in case of smart contracts, we identify an agreement. See, what we do in real world, we go to the court, we sign an agreement. What if the other party violates that agreement? We again have to go to a court and wait for years for that case to be solved. But here, smart contracts is a better way to handle agreements. Multiple parties identify the cooperative opportunity and desired outcomes. They set conditions. So smart contracts are executed automatically when the certain conditions are met. For example, if I say that I am buying property from you, provided you pay me, say, rupees 1 crore. So the day you will transfer 1 crore in my account, that papers would be automatically transferred in your name. So this is how smart contracts work. So nobody can defy, right? It will the smart contract will automatically work when the conditions are met. So and here you need a programmer to code this into business logic. Encryption and blockchain technology are used to program this, and then execution and processing. The code is executed and outcomes are done. Then network updates all the nodes because it's a blockchain technology. So once a particular contract is executed, all the nodes are notified. Example use cases: smart cards contracts provide utility to other contracts. For example, when the party A says that it will transfer so and so amount to party B in 10 days. So in 10 days, automatically the money would be deducted from party A's account and credited to party B account. They facilitate implementation of multi-signature accounts in which assets are transferred only when a certain percentage of people agree to do so. Then smart contracts can map legal obligations into an automation. So whatever legal obligations are, it can be programmed for an automated process. If smart contracts are implemented correctly, they can provide greater degree of contractual security. So half of the code's job would already be done. Applications, it is used in smart real estate, vehicle ownership. For example, the enforceable vehicle maintenance security service every 6 months, failure of which will lead to suspension of driving license. So automatically this will be executed. Then music industry, the music industry record the ownership of music in a blockchain, a smart contract. So if what are we doing these days? We just use pirated music without paying their listening to the songs. But here, so we can create NFT. We can create a smart contract using blockchain technology so that whenever there is a download, automatically the royalty is paid to the author's or the singer's account. Then for voting, it can be used. So it can be very transparent. So once a vote has been casted, it cannot be changed. It cannot be deleted, right? So then even in the management can automate many decisions that are taken late or deferred. Every decision is transparent and available to any party who has the authority. For example, a smart contract can be deployed to trigger the supply of raw material when 10 tons of plastic bags are produced. So this can be programmed and automatically achieved. So when 10 tons of bag is produced, supply chain contract would be automatically executed. Then in healthcare records, for example, before taking discharge, the bills of the patient can be cleared using smart contracts. So there are different tools available today to create metaverse applications. For example, Unity. All these tools are free, can be used freely. Blender, Unreal, then Amazon Sumerian, Spark AR. And here we saw the metaverse, application of metaverse. Here they are their avatar. See, the people are here, but their avatars are meeting in the virtual world and conducting meetings. So here you can use to get a more personalized training sessions. You can use metaverse. So we are learning from a trained person who is telling how to play the next ball, right? Then so you have a digital avatar which is so that this person is using this virtual. So it's he's in a total virtual environment cut from the reality. So he's there in the virtual world and he's being guided by the another person in the metaverse. So students are using here to learn more about planets. So instead of seeing images, static images in the book, they can know more about planets. They can see the universe and see how they revolve, and have a feeling of more how they revolve around each other. What are the physical characteristics of each planet? Then these are certain. I would request everybody to see the videos by the Andrew Kwan, which is which teaches how to create metaverse applications using Double, and you can create this application in less than a minute. Then these are certain useful links if you want to know about metaverse. And just to tell you, there's a website, OpenSea, where you can create your image. I mean, you can create your drawings, your pieces of art, and you can create an NFT. You can just scan it and upload it, and you can create an NFT of your art piece, and then you can sell it. Well, see, those who are artists, they are creating so many images. In fact, I told to my students, and my students have already done this. They are earning money. So one student earned 20,000 rupees last month, and the amount was credited to his wallet. So he was very excited, and he showed me. So you just have to you don't have to do anything. You just have to put your art piece and market for, and the people will buy and sell. See, what is the will they do it? For example, if I want my a t-shirt in a metaverse to have this drawing, so I can buy this drawing, right? And I can pay for it, and you can even see the prices. It goes up every day, right? People are buying and selling these NFTs. Then there is, you can music, social media content. For example, teenagers, especially these days, they create a lot of stories and contents for Instagram posts. They can even upload it on this website, and they can earn for it. For example, you can see here. So originally it was for 1.5 Ethereum, and now it's selling for 4.5 Ethereum. So you can really earn a money by selling your NFTs on the metaverse website. On these websites, you can create an NFT and sell them. So here, this is another website, Top Shot, where you can special moments in sports. You can buy virtual tickets for if there is a sporting event, and you can also sell your special moment. You can make a video of some special moment. For example, in the last cricket match, what was your you can create a 1-minute video of the instance when the trophy was distributed. It must be a very emotional event, or when a particular player was out, or when that your favorite player had a 6. So those special moments can be captured, and you can sell them or create an NFT, and that NFT would fetch you money on the metaverse. So you can even your avatars can even go from one metaverse to other metaverse. For example, this is a suppose desert area metaverse. So now your avatar is tired of seeing the desert. You can then here, like, it's a small ring, and through this ring you can enter another metaverse, which is a forest metaverse. So now your avatar can visualize and experience the forest environment. So before ending the session, I would also like to share a piece of code where we can create, students can use a small piece of code where students can upload a PDF document and can get answers from that. Like we do it on ChatGPT. Although they can do it from ChatGPT, but it's always good and more exciting to have your own application. So it's a simple code in Python. For example, when we are in college as faculties, we are sitting every day. There is a new notice, and most of the students can get most of the information on the college website, but still they keep on asking teachers. So we have written this application. Student can just upload the PDF, the prospectus, or the guidelines, and then they can get their queries resolved. So we can share this code and so that anybody can use it. So this was all about the presentation. I would now like to ask if there are any questions.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the presentation is very good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it is very informative, and also I hope all the participants have gained more knowledge from this webinar. Now let us move on to the asking the questions we received from the various participants. Let us move for one by one. First one is out of so many emerging technologies, how an individual decide and prepare himself? This is one question, madam.
So to learn about emerging technologies, like we have a book from Wiley, so definitely students can use that book and get and when we read when you know about different technologies, you can decide which one excites you more, where is your interest, and then you can also see some YouTube videos. There are many introductory videos where you can get more knowledge. And then suppose you choose cyber security, if you are interested in it, and then you can there are courses which you can enroll in. There are free courses, and then there are some paid courses. Then you can also do internship. I always suggest this to my students and even my own son. So right from the first year of your undergraduation course, from BTech, BSc, whatever it is, start doing internships. So you will get to know more about it, and then you can discover your interest area and explore more in detail. For example, if I'm interested in cybersecurity and later I see that I'm more interested in some other technology, so you can always switch. So this is the time when you can explore and take a decision for your career perspectives. But for that, you should first have a introduction about all the technologies where jobs are future proofing careers, basically. Yes.
Thank you, madam. Next one is what are the key strengths in an engineer which will enable integration and application of knowledge and skills?
I feel the foremost in an engineer, when the term engineer comes in my mind, I always think about problem solving, innovative thinking. So I'll give you an example. Last week only, I was attending a design and thinking workshop where professors from IIT Delhi and DTU had come to our college. So they gave us an example. There was a news that the number of road accidents are constantly increasing in states like Punjab and Haryana. So, and we were all asked to give our opinion about it, and majority of people gave the same answer. There was few reasons: that they must drunk and drive, then they are habitual of rash driving. We always talk about negative things first. So rash driving, they have a lot of work pressure. Their schedules, the trucks are overloaded. So that is why they are unable to control. So there were certain reasons that were 3-4 reasons that everybody gave, but only the engineer gave us the correct answer. That most of the truck drivers are middle-aged people, and usually middle-aged people, it is very difficult for them to accept, especially from people like Punjab and Haryana, those who say we have a very good diet, we drink lassi, we drink milk, we eat butter every day. So for them to accept that they have eye problem, vision problems, it is very difficult. So what this team did, instead in the roadside hotels, they instead of having a menu, they had put a physical eye testing ke liye, that we have the screen. One word would be written very big, the T is written big, then the next item in the menu was written smaller, then the next smaller. Then they found that they could not read whatever was written in the last 2 lines. So then they were told, you cannot read because your eyes are weak, so you need to have glasses. And then and there itself, it was an NGO basically doing their eye test was done, and they were told, and free glasses were distributed to them. So now they were asked to take 2 days, wear the glasses, and then drive. So when they came back with the feedback there, now they are feeling much better. They can see clearly even during the night. So as an engineer, when you have when you know about different technologies, you can have a better you can design better solutions, efficient solutions, optimized solutions, not just engineers but even managers. Yes, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for detailed answers. So next one is don't we need new information exchange standards so as to fully exploit the advances in communication technology and multimedia capabilities? So he has to enhance the effectiveness of technical communication.
Yes, sir, definitely. When we are talking about technologies like metaverse, and when we are collecting so much personal data, when we talk about IoT, so even there was a case. I mean, last 2 months back, there was a research which said that even our devices are listening. So even when we are sleeping, our WhatsApp is recording our audio. For example, we have often seen that when we are talking about, say, one day it happened. One of my colleagues said, today I want to have a tandoori kebab. So and the moment she opened her Google, different ads were displayed uh, for tandoori kebab alternative. So, and she was just wondering, why is this happening? How did my computing device know that I want to have this? So I told her about this research, that our devices are listening. They are constantly analyzing our data, and in such an environment where so much data about us Google is storing our location every second. Google knows where we are. So when we are living in when so much data about us is being collected, there are definitely need for new standards for data privacy and data security. And that is why the government has in 2023 had, even not just Indian government, across the world we have so many new standards which we have already discussed in the book also. And there is a constant need to revise those standards every 2 years, I think. Yes.
Thank you, madam. From next one is, do you think NFT will replace Bitcoin? May you know the infrastructure required to set up the blockchain lab?
A blockchain lab you're talking about?
Yes.
Sir, as so far we coding for today we have no code tools, low code tools, and coding tools. And if to create an application for a blockchain, there are multiple no code tools are also available, as I said, double. So you don't have to do any programming. And in fact, so you can see that just drag and drop things. So you don't need any extra special infrastructure to just start in this blockchain. And then coding, if you are doing coding, even then you don't need any special infrastructure. That's, I think, this the beauty of these emerging technologies. In less investment in resources, you can do a lot. Even if you talk about the coding is not that difficult. I think it's like coding in HTML, little more complicated than HTML, but it's not that tough or big deal. So it can be easily set up.
Yes, madam. Do you think NFT will replace Bitcoin?
Acha. Sir, I think NFT is different and coins is different. For example, coins is like your digital money. We always need money for exchange. We give it to somebody, but NFT is like your piece of art. For example, if you have created a piece of music, or so if you are very good at playing guitar, for example, you have created a tune, you can sell it. If you have written some lyrics, so basically it's your artistic asset, digital asset, and that is your money. So both are different. For example, I have this property at this house, this is NFT, but I have this 10 rupee Bitcoin, that is, so both will exist simultaneously. Both has its own value. I think I would prefer to go for the NFT if I'm a very artistic person.
Okay, madam. Thank you. Next one is, what is the pathway to learn the emerging technologies, and how many projects are sufficient to grab a job in big companies?
Yes, sir. It's a good question. Pathway, for example, first we have to see in which technology are we more interested in. So as a student, I would first read a book to know what are the different technologies. Then I will start writing some research papers. I will start reading the research papers, and then write my own paper, present it in a conference so that I can get instant feedback. Then I will also this is the pathway that I follow basically. Then I also do some courses. My favorite website is Udemy, because I can buy then Swayam portal is there. So these two websites I usually prefer. Then there are many free YouTube videos also, and very good ones. For example, start with basic. For example, if you want to create a chatbot, first use a no-code tool. For example, you can use Google Dialogflow. In fact, we are training school teachers these days, school students these days to create a chatbot. Then we are training school students and school teachers to create mobile apps. So I'm very happy to say that these small things are now being done in schools. In fact, AI has been introduced in schools, so that by the time a student comes to higher education, he already knows how to use it and then can create his or her own tools. So read about it, do internships, write research papers, and do courses on websites, see YouTube videos that and a student can sitting at home can do everything on its own. And of course, teachers are always there to mentor them to see that they are going in the right direction for query resolution. In fact, there are many communities also these days. So for a query resolution, teachers are as mentors are available, and they also respond actively. Then we have tools like ChatGPT. So it's not an issue to learn anything on your own these days.
Thank you, madam. Next one is, how can organizations balance the benefits of emerging technologies with the potential risks such as data security or ethical concerns?
Yes, sir. And I'm sorry, I forgot to answer that how many projects a student must do. Sir, because I am also a student, because we had never learned these technologies when we were in college. So after I side by side do projects, first I do 2 to 3 small projects to enhance my confidence. Then I will do 2-3 medium size complexity projects, and then I take up one project that is little more complex. For example, as you read in my profile, that we are doing we've collaborated with NRIs. Their startups is in California, so we take projects from them. They don't give us anything, but at least for learning we are doing it. Regarding organizations, yes, data standards and data governance is very important for emerging technologies to maintain security, and it is very important for the companies, organizations to implement the standards laid out by the government and also give their constant feedback to comply with these regulations. I think many companies, except the good companies, many small companies don't even bother to comply with the existing standards. And it is, I think it's the big companies, it's a responsibility to send their feedback to the government to constantly revise the standards already set. Yes, sir.
Thank you, madam. From my end, that's all, madam. Thank you so much for clearing the doubt for our participants' queries. Really, very nice, madam.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Yes.
Thank you, sir. So it's a privilege being here on this platform and speaking. Thank you, Wiley. Thank you, IEEE CSI, for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. Any more questions? Any more questions from the participants? No. Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, shall I, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. S. Koteeswaran, Chair, IEEE CS Madras, to moderation of Q&A section. That is a wonderful section and interaction with each other. I request Dr. A. Akila, Chair, CSI Chennai, to give vote of thanks.
Thank you, Vishwa. Thank you, Dr. Reema Thareja, Assistant Professor, School of Open Learning, University of Delhi, for giving a wonderful session on this evening. So she started with the need of people in emerging technologies. So she's just quoted some current news, current affairs, and she just quoted nicely. And she just moved on next to the smart home, are listening to us. She just mentioned it through Alexa, Siri, all those things. She just mentioned it. And she also mentioned about important thing that IoT devices will be more than people in 2030. And she was discussing about the 3D printing, blockchain technologies, all those things in her presentation. And she was also talking about the combination of emerging technologies such as cyber security and AI, blockchain and AI, all those combinations we need. And she also briefed about blockchain, and it's like she just mentioned as it is an ever expanding ledger. So, and also she touched upon some of the topics like advantages and disadvantages of blockchain, then its types and their differences in different metrics. And then she had few case studies on some of the things like AI-driven cyber security for smart homes, then IoT-enabled traffic monitoring and smart parking system, etc. And she also briefed about the augmented reality and virtual reality. She again spoke about the metaverse, its history, and its uses in the current and like Gilby art. So she mentioned, and she also concluded the session with the users and again the test cases of the emerging technologies. And for the few topics, she just narrated a live examples, which made us to understand the concepts more clear. Thank you, ma'am. And I would like to especially mention all the organizing units, the IEEE CS, Madras, CSH, Chennai, and ACM for actively contributing for this session. And I also thank our mentor, Mr. HR Mohan sir, Chair Events IEEE CS, for his continuous support and bringing knowledgeable sources to enhance our knowledge. Last but not the least, I thank all the participants who actively participated and also raised your queries during the registration and here during in the chat box. Thank you all. Have a nice day. And I just want to end up with just listing out our future webinars. On May 14th, we have a webinar on quantum plus AI fusion and use case on generative music. And on 28th of May, we have another webinar on trends in semiconductor industry. Kindly register yourself and just get enhancing your knowledge. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Seema, for the
Thank you, sir.
nice.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation. Yeah.
Okay, sir.